a second. This is something that I'm doing on Logic Pro for Apple, and the looper that I use is a Jermaine Stereo by Digitech. That's the looper that I normally use, but I'm not using one at this second. So yeah, good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. Floppy, what's up, man? Impulse Music, British Virgin Islands, tongue twister. But good morning to you. Good morning, everybody. So yeah, let's go back here. I'm knocking some of the dust off. It's sloppy, but God bless you. Amen. How y'all doing this morning? All right, let me go through some comments that I've missed. I'm gonna have to come out of this jacket. It's getting hot in here. All right. So let me go back. Let's see who we got. Cal, Billy. Good morning, Groovy sir. I'm trying to get like you, newbie, almost 3 years. 3 years in. Wow, man. Keep going. That's the best thing I can tell you. Just keep going. Good morning, sir. Sounding real good. Thank you. Thomas Bass. Good morning to you. Reggie, Kansas City, man. Good morning to you. Why am I dancing? I don't know. It's early. It's too early for that. Gregory, what's up, man? Home state, Mississippi. Good morning, bro. Missed you last week. Sounds really good. Thank you, Andre. Good cold morning to you, sir. It's whoa. Minus 11 now. Y'all can have every piece of that. I don't want no part in that. Not that cold here in Georgia. Hopefully it don't get crazy. Now, I don't want to speak too soon. Hopefully it don't get crazy here. It's not that bad. All right, so let's see here. All right, let's see. You stacking baselines. Just playing around. I like the hats that you own, brand you wearing. Thank you. I appreciate that. Andre said, I think I'm going to buy your basic beginner lessons. Okay, you're saying the basic bass lessons, the basic beginner. Cool, good deal, man. Good deal. Who's the maker of that bass? This is a Warrior bass made by Warrior. The model is a Warrior Isabella. All right. So let's go. Let's keep going. Anthony Robinson, good morning to you. Good morning, Jermaine. You sound good this morning. Hope you're staying warm. I'm hot. I'm sweating right now. So yeah, I'm doing pretty good. Thank you for that, Floppy man. Appreciate that. Steven, what's up, man? Good morning to you. Anthony, can you make that track available for us? We'll see. We'll see. I'm not gonna say no. We'll see. It's actually, man, that's really just a loop out of Logic Pro. I'm just playing a bass line on top of a loop, truth be told. There's not really much to that track. I'm just playing, and if I make it a bass track, you pretty much on your own, because it's just a drum loop. All right, so let's go back. Omar, greetings from Dominican Republic, everyone. Good to have you, Omar. Thank you for being here. How do you build? How do building? I'm not sure what. Okay, how do I build my viewers? That's interesting. That's an apples, but how do I'm gonna go ahead and deal with that. Biggest things you have to find what's your thing, what's your niche, as people would say. What is the thing that you like doing the most? What's the thing that, kind of brings joy to you, or uh, you can add value to people from? It might not be a teaching platform per se. Performance platforms are a little more difficult, I believe, when you're strictly doing performance, unless you're naturally very, very, very entertaining. I see y'all coming. Keep the comments coming. I'll respond to them. Unless you're just super naturally entertaining, sometimes it's harder to build a performance-based channel. You have to, in my opinion, you have to have something else um, entertaining to keep engagement throughout the videos. From my experience of doing this so many years, because people, unfortunately, like a lot of people, I'm sure, have clicked on this video, and after about 3 minutes, they clicked off. So it's hard to keep people's attention. So you have to find a way in your channel to keep people's attention. You can do that through emotion, in terms of making them laugh, making them cry, adding value to them, giving them something of value in terms of wisdom. There are a number of ways that you can do this, and I'm not the expert on this, obviously, but I will say the biggest thing amongst everything else is be honest about who you are and be consistent in terms of putting your content out there, and don't get discouraged while you're doing it. It's a marathon. You know what I'm saying? It's not a sprint, and you have to take. Some people put up a video and become famous overnight, and there's a lot of different factors that go into that. If you want to just go viral, put up something that is going to be a shocker. If that's the case, put up something or somebody. I don't want to encourage anybody to do anything like that, but a lot of times when you compromise who you are and just go for the views, you'll build a I don't want to say a following. You'll get a lot of views, but adding value to people or giving something that people wouldn't mind coming back to see. The thing is not about putting out one great video. Do you have enough content that makes people want to return to your channel? Because they'll come and watch a cool video, even if you do a dope performance video. But after that first video, and it's like nothing else there. Okay, well, that was great. See you some other time, I guess. It's like you giving people no reason to come back. Give people a reason to want to come back and want to view your content. So I've been doing that for years now with the bass lessons and some of the things that I've added on this channel. I think I've given a lot of you reasons to come back because there's something you probably missed. It's probably a bass lesson you probably missed, an interview, something. I try to keep something engaging in. And understand everything isn't for everybody. It's some people not gonna like what you do. I was tickled this morning going through some of my videos, and I was like, man, I guess YouTube just have people assigned to come and dislike your video, no matter who you are or what you put out. There's a group of people who are destined to get on your channel and just dislike everything you do just because it's Tuesday. So coming to the realization that everybody is not going to like what you do, but being okay with that, not shifting who you are or what you're about just because people don't like it. There is an audience out there who wants what you have. Not saying that you don't need to adjust or maybe reconfigure or maybe rethink the way that you're presenting your content. There's some things about yourself that you'll find out through your audience that you might not have been aware of. And use those things. I always say, take the meat, spit out the bones. If it's something worthy of you taking and growing from, take it. Don't get offended. Just take it and keep moving. But if it's something that people are just trolling, whatever. You're talking too low. I don't got time to hear that. You know what I'm saying? So don't take stuff personal. Hopefully this is helpful to you and whoever else might be wondering about creating your content online. It's like everybody's not going to like it, and that's okay. Just be honest. So true, Jermaine. I thought I was the only one. Man, listen. People seem like they are. That's their job in the morning. They get up out of the bed, hit that alarm clock, and get on YouTube. Let me see how many videos I can dislike today. 100. All right, new record. You know what I'm saying? So it's like people have, this is their thing to get on and dislike, and then we have the other people who take it even a step further. Not only do I dislike your video, I mean, your video is harmless, But I need to get on here and tell you why I dislike it and why I dislike you and why I dislike everything you're doing. I'm like, wow, thank you for that. I'm glad you had time to tell me this negative stuff. So hopefully your day is well. So don't get discouraged. Don't get distracted by it. If you are trying to be a content creator, just go for it. Put it out. All right. So on to reading some more of these comments so we can jump into today's talk. Grooves and motivation. If you don't know who I am, it's your first time to this channel. I always forget to introduce myself to you all. I'm sorry for that. I am Jermaine Morgan. Normally, we cover bass lessons on this channel. And of recent, well, it's been a minute now, but you can also find motivation if you're a musician or anybody that's looking for motivation. You can get a little groove and get some motivation to go along with it to get your Tuesday morning started right. There are other videos I drop throughout the week, as well as backing tracks and tons of other bass lessons that are available on this channel. So if you haven't pressed the subscribe button or the like, go ahead and do that now as we jump into this video. Again, I appreciate you for being here and for watching and for tuning in with me for this it ain't an episode, but for this live of Grooves and Motivation. Thank you guys. So let's read some more comments here. I think I spoke Tiffany. Let's see here. All right. Luigi, good morning to you. I'm not sure the language, but I'm saying good morning to you. Floyd, what's up, man? Can you give some kind of routine schedule, man? I need a routine to practice my bass in an organized way. Okay, I'll come back to that, Omar. Henry here, Ghana. Good morning, Henry. All right, so a routine. I've talked about this many times before. My students, I try to ask for at least 10 hours a week because if you're new to this thing, especially if you're older, it's a little more difficult. Not impossible, but it's a little more difficult the older you get because it's like, it's hard to learn something when you're older. So you just have to put in almost more work than you will when you're a kid because you got to think there's other things. It's not because you don't have the mechanics and your hands not fast enough and all that stuff. Granted, we know we slow down a little bit when we get a little bit older, but you have a life. You have responsibilities, and so you have other things taking your focus, so you have to work that much harder to focus, and it's that much harder to retain and remember stuff because all of this stuff, all of this space in your brain has been taken up by all these other things just by being alive and being a human and being an adult, adulting, if you will. Adulting has taken place. So you have to work a little bit harder, in my opinion, as an older person and when I say older, I don't mean like, you're 100 years old. I mean, like, I call myself older. I'm a little older, obviously, than I was in my teens. Getting started, like, you got 8-year-olds and, preteens and teens and people are in their younger 20s that are starting this thing. And it was difficult for me starting at 12. So the older we get, a little bit more difficult it is. Not impossible. I want to keep reiterating that. You just have to work a little bit harder. And because you're fighting against Father Time, you got to put in twice the effort. So with that being said, most of my one-on-one students are older than me. Majority of them are. Well, my one-on-one coaching calls with bass players, but all of them are making substantial progress and doing a great job with that because they understand what it takes. You know what I'm saying? Well, you're right there with me, Omar. I'll be 39 this year. I was going to say I'm 1 year shy of 39 now. I'm right on top of that year, so I'll be 39 this year. So anyway, yeah, we just have to work a little bit harder. So I would say find. I'm not going to tell you find. But you want to kind of designate at least 2 hours a day and don't get completely away from just jamming. Sorry about that, computer's up. Don't get away from completely jamming on your bass. You know what I'm saying? And what I mean by that, the thing that draws you to the instrument, that fun element. What you see me doing here in the mornings, there's some practice involved in what I'm doing, but I'm just grooving. I'm just having a good time. When I get on here Tuesday mornings with these tracks, I'm having a good time, and you never want to lose that element of playing music. I think one of the problems that beginners run into is that they try to learn all of the rules at the beginning. Try to learn all of the rules, all of the things. I need to know this, I need to know this, I need to know this. No, you just need to play. Just play the instrument. Play the instrument, listen to more music, get that music in your system, start to understand that language, start to try to repeat. Listen, repeat, listen, repeat, listen, repeat, and learn the rules along the way. You do want to have some form of structure. So maybe if you're giving yourself 2 hours per day at minimum, all right. So let's take 15 of those minutes to try to warm up the fingers. Maybe work through some chromatic exercises. Some different stuff. Just a simple chromatic exercise just to warm up, and doing that with the metronome, working through scales and that kind of thing. Just whatever, something to get all four fingers moving. You want something to get the fingers moving so you don't get stuck. The problem with only jamming out all the time is that you're not really learning a whole bunch of new stuff in terms of developing some fundamental things about your playing. So it's that balance of both worlds. You want to make sure that you're enjoying it, but you do want to make sure you allocate some time for learning some of the fundamental stuff. And then I would say start pulling up some songs. Find you one or two songs that you really, really like. I would say start trying to learn a song that you already know, song that you can sing in your sleep. Like, I don't want to start listening out songs because we got different cultures here, so it might not be what's common for me might not be common for everybody else. So, like a song that you know that has a really, really simple bass line to it, try learning that song. And the fact that you already know it should cut down the time that you would spend learning something brand new that you've never heard before. So something that that has a pretty simple bass line to it, sit with it, try to pick it out, even if it sounds a mess. The idea and the act of you trying to work through that song, it's going towards your benefit, because each time you do it, you learn a little bit something about yourself. You're learning how you learn each time you do that. You start developing a system over time, because I could give you my system of learning, but that might not work for you because you're wired completely different. All of us are different. So you have to kind of navigate through this thing, and the more time you put in, the quicker you can find out what that system is for you for learning. You know what I'm saying? The quicker, the faster you can get to the answer of, okay, I need to do this, I need to do that. And you'll start figuring it out. But be careful not to box yourself into your own rules, because as I said on last week, you don't know everything that you need because you're new to this thing. And you might need to get some help along the way. I'm giving you a broad overview of some things that you can do, but to be more detailed, you might need some one-on-one with someone that can sit and analyze where you are and some of the mistakes that you're making, to be able to give you a personalized structure for practicing. Okay, you need to work on this, spend some time on this. This is a trouble spot for you. You're having some problems. That's some of the things that I do in my one-on-one coaching calls. I'm able to look at where players are having, and so it goes beyond this generic, okay, just work on this, and that. You know what I'm saying? I'm able to look at and see where you are, and tell you specifically, oh, okay, you're having a problem with timing. You need to work on counting. Okay? So that's where a big problem lies, in the aspect of being able to count. You can't count really well. You will, not that you can't count. It's kind of like they're walking and chewing gum at the same time. Some people get the tripping when they had to stop chewing gum while they walk, and then when they sit down, they start chewing the gum again. That kind of idea. You want to be able to identify where those trouble spots are, and sometimes you can't see them by yourself, so you might need some extra help. Sorry to spend so much time on answering that question, but hopefully, Omar, that gave you a good clear answer. Still a nipper, sir. Wait until you reach RA. Yeah, man. I know I got a long way to go. I ain't in no hurry to get there. You hear me? So, Andrew said, good morning, Jermaine. Thank God it's Tuesday. Happy to be here. Thank you for being here, man. Yeah, that 40 hump is coming up fast. It's coming up fast. I'm thankful to even see this age. There was a time in my life where I didn't even, it wasn't promised that I was going to get this old. So thank God for 38, you know what I'm saying? So I'm grateful for it each year. Thank you. Thank you for each year. So the point where I got all of y'all here today, somebody's watching you. I know that sounds real creepy. Like, what you mean somebody watching? What you mean? And then I got that a creepy thumbnail looking at you like this right here. Somebody's watching you. Like, dude, chill out, man. It's too early for that. No, what I mean by that, I was talking to a good friend of mine. Matter of fact, we were texting this morning. I had a completely different topic that I was going to talk about, and he and I were talking, and it made this thought come to my mind that somebody's watching you, so don't quit. So don't quit. It's like I think it was a little meme going around on there was a meme going around on social media like last year, the year before last, of this father who was doing push-ups. He was like, I almost quit, and then I noticed you can see the little man in the corner over there trying to do the push-ups too, and obviously he's mimicking his dad. So he's like, I noticed that somebody was watching, so I kept going. So it's that idea. You think you're doing this thing by yourself. You think you're out here by yourself. Especially a lot of you guys is asking me questions about your bass journey. You hear a person like me or somebody else playing, and you don't hear yourself doing the same thing or something similar. And sometimes it eats away at your brain like, man, I ain't gonna never get there. I know exactly the thought, whether you admit it or not, because I experienced it time and time again, and even sometimes if I'm not careful, depending on what I'm listening to or who I'm listening to, that thought might creep back in. But I remind myself to keep going because I'm aware that there are people like you who are watching me, who are watching my progress, who are watching me grow, and who are being inspired by what I do. And so all this stuff that I'm saying, it matters because you can't say one thing and then do another thing. We were having a conversation with my oldest daughter on yesterday. She's 9. And just telling her about leadership qualities, and some things we want to see in her because your 2 younger siblings are watching you and you're kind of setting a standard for them. Even reminding my 2 older ones that I'm like, the baby is watching y'all. Y'all have more influence on her than we do because she's looking at you from the perspective of, okay, they're closer to my age and this is what they're doing, so this must be okay. So when you do something that's wrong in her presence, she gets the idea, oh, this must be the way I must, you know what I'm saying? I'm supposed to do this way. I'm getting tongue twisted this morning. I'm supposed to do this way. And so she starts to get this wrong image of something based on what she's seeing, not what we're saying, because we can say, no, don't do that. No, Ellie, don't touch this. Don't say that. That's bad. That's mean. But if she noticed the 2 older ones are always saying this, when they play, this is how they play. She's learning from what they do, not what we say. So we have to be careful that somebody is watching us. So you telling somebody something, it doesn't really go anywhere. You know, it kind of does and it kind of doesn't. Most of you that's been really following me, I think you follow because of the consistency there. If you are on this live more than once, and you've been here more than a month, you already know that there's some level of consistency there. And I don't come and tell you guys anything that I haven't personally dealt with myself. And so I think there's a trust that's gained because not only am I talking about something, you get to partially see a little bit of my story. If you go back to my earlier videos on this channel, you can see the progression. So you know, okay, this dude he telling the truth. He's been doing something because he definitely don't sound or look like that anymore. Even paying attention to something, going back to my content creators that are out there just watching. I talked about this before, but even going back to looking at my older videos and my own personal demeanor. Naturally, my calm state is I'm laid back. That's just my personality. I'm really, really laid back. If I'm around people that I know and I'm comfortable with, I'm silly. But it's like 2 extremes. If you don't know me, you think I'm really quiet and really reserved. And I am. I ain't gonna say I got multiple personalities. It depends on what mood I'm in. It depends on who I'm around. So most of my life I was quiet. I didn't really say anything until I got around friends, that kind of thing. So I didn't know that I was giving that off on camera. There was a few videos I put up, and I noticed going back years later looking at it, in my mind I'm thinking like, I'm really excited about this. Like, you see my face now, I'm like, I'm really excited about this. But on the camera, because there's nobody in the room and there's just a camera sitting there, and I'm not realizing what I'm giving away. At that time, I had a Nikon, and it didn't have the screen that flipped around where I can actually see my face. So I'm just talking. So I'm saying stuff like, I'm really excited. And y'all can go back and watch some of the videos and laugh at me then. But but I'm like, I'm really excited about this new music. I don't even smile like this. I'm really excited about this new music. This is my natural face, like super relaxed. And I'm telling the story like, I'm really excited about this music. I really want you guys to hear it. But it's not coming across because I'm not aware of what I'm giving off. But in my inside, I am genuinely excited about I'm excited about the music. I've been working really, really hard, but my face is showing, yeah, man, I'm really excited for y'all to hear this, man. We work really, really hard. And it's just real chill, you know what I'm saying? So going back and look at it, I'm looking at it like, yeah, I bet you excited. You look like you're excited. But again, after going back and observing my own self and looking at my own things that I was doing, learning a little more, getting around, going to some seminars, webinars, and that kind of thing, people making me aware, you have to be aware of your body language. You have to be aware of your face, what your face is doing. I remember my brother-in-law, I never been a drug user. No shade to y'all drug users out there. Stop doing it. But my brother-in-law used to tell me, he didn't tell me, he told my wife now, he looked like he'd be high all the time, because I always had this, that was my look, and just this really natural, relaxed face. And so it tickled me because obviously I don't do drugs, but that was just funny that somebody thought I was high. And I'm like, how many other people have come in contact with me and they think I'm like high just because the way I look? So all that being said, I'm being funny, but the point of that, you have to be aware that somebody's watching you. Somebody's watching the energy that you give off. Somebody's watching the nonchalantness that you kind of give off. And you don't mean it, but some things you give off. Your face, some of us, your face talks louder than your mouth. You say a lot more with your face than you do with your mouth. I know I'm guilty of that one. In some music director situations, people would always look at my face to kind of determine how I felt about certain things that might have been going on musically in this scenario, in this situation. Now, I didn't know, again, my face was giving off certain things, and I got this certain thing that I'm doing when I'm about to laugh, and people would look at me and just burst out laughing. I'm like, what's wrong, man? Why you laughing? Like, dude, I already know you saying it all over your face. I'm like, I ain't saying nothing. But I'm giving it off with my face and not being aware of that. You're saying more than you're saying. So the same thing with your energy and what you're doing, what you're putting out. You're telling somebody you love music and you're excited about music, but you hate the practice. You don't look like you're enjoying the performance when you're performing. And that's not to say that you're not having a good time, but being aware of that energy attracts. I noticed once I started being aware of my energy, even on this channel, going back to my man Omar, who's asking me about growing my channel, I noticed once I started being more aware of my energy that I was giving off on this channel, my channel started to grow. I was playing good stuff. I was giving good information, but the energy that I was giving was kind of, it was indifferent. So people didn't know whether, I don't know. So I didn't, but you don't know what you don't know, but I'm making you aware of it today. At the time, I didn't have nobody telling me, hey, dude, your energy sucks. Like God dog, man. Nobody told me that, but I was able to go back after evaluation and learning some more stuff. I was able to go back and critique myself and be like, dude, your energy sucks. Like, yo, man, come on. What is this? Like, you got to be honest with yourself. You really, really have to be honest with yourself. And I think when we can be honest with ourselves, it helps us to move forward. It helps us to progress in those moments that we want to give up. In those moments in our playing that we want to quit. Be honest with yourself. Bruh, you whining right now. Like, say it to yourself. Dude, you are whining right now. You know this was going to take a lot of work when you started. Why are you whining? Just do the work. I literally have conversations like that with myself where I call myself out on the car. Like, bro, like for real, you complaining about this? You whining about that? Really? You didn't know that this was involved? Well, now you do. So get over it and keep it moving. You know what I'm saying? Call yourself out on the stuff because that's the way that you move forward. When you start agreeing with your sorrow, your sadness, your shortcomings, your failures, and all this stuff, you start agreeing with it. Now you give yourself a scapegoat because I ain't gonna never be this and I ain't gonna never be that. Or you start agreeing with something somebody else has said concerning you. You know you're not matching your full potential with that stuff. Stop. Stop doing it. You're not meeting your full potential. There's more that you have on the inside of you that you haven't even unlocked. You just need to be aware of what that is. And that might require you getting out of your own way, might require you doing some things that are uncomfortable. Like, I didn't want to go and sit through a webinar about, social media and all this kind of stuff, or being online and being a content creator, but I found there were nuggets in this webinar. There was nuggets in these classes. There was nuggets in these books that I read that made me aware of certain things that I wasn't doing. Like, wow. Or things that I might have been doing and I wasn't aware of. You know what I'm saying? So awareness is everything. And just knowing, going back to the analogy of the guy doing the push-ups and the little baby or the little toddler over there trying to do it, because I even noticed the same thing with my son. He has some funny stuff that he does. It's really, really funny stuff. I say it's funny because him being a little dude, like 6, well, he just turned 7. But him being a little guy doing stuff that I do is hilarious to me because I'm looking at him like, dude, what is that? Why are you doing that? Because you do it. And I'm like, but I'm grown. It's like he's carrying around. I gave him this little wallet. It was like a wallet that I had that I didn't use. And I gave it to him, and I noticed we go to the stores, and he tries to stick his wallet in his back pocket. Pocket is like this small. Wallet is like this big. So he's trying to stuff this big, huge wallet in that little bitty pocket. So the wallet is just sticking out about that much, just sticking in his pocket. I'm like, dude, you about to lose your wallet. Like, chill out. Put that back in the truck. So he's trying to do stuff that he sees me do. And so being aware that he's watching me, I have to be conscious to give cognizant to give him the right information, because if he's watching me, I don't want him to repeat my failures. If he's watching me harder than he's listening, I want him to pick up on the perseverance part of it. You know what I'm saying? I want him to pick up on the bravery part of it, or what appears to be bravery. I want him to pick up on those parts. I want him to see how I talk to his sisters and how I talk to his mom. I want him to pick up on that stuff and repeat those actions that are good, not this negative stuff. So in order for me to give him the right information, I have to be aware of what I'm unconsciously giving off. You know, I have to be aware of that. So I tell you the same thing. Somebody's watching you. Whoever you are out there, whoever is listening to me this morning in YouTube land, you have influence wherever you are. It might not be right now on the base, but there's some area of influence that you have, and you have to make sure that what you're giving off is something you'd like to see coming back to you. You reap what you sow. What you put out is what you get back. The energy that you put out is the energy that you get back. You have no enthusiasm about anything, don't expect for anybody else to have any enthusiasm about it. You know what I'm saying? I use this example all the time when I talked about Jermaine Morgan TV, when I started the interviews and that kind of thing. I was very enthused about the idea of what it was I was trying to do. I wasn't the first person to do interviews online, but I was very enthused about the way I was trying to go about doing it. And I noticed my energy was contagious in terms of the enthusiasm I had about people interested in being a part of what I was doing. Got to the point where I wasn't even having to really ask people. They was requesting to be on the show. Different people. I didn't get around everybody that was requesting. But the point is, people were attracted to that energy that I was giving out. And so I want to be a part of that. This thing, it looks like it's moving. He looks like he's excited. He looks like he's going somewhere. This looks like it's going somewhere. I want to be a part of something that's going somewhere. So if you want to attract people, give out the right energy. You want to run people off, kind of like flies, put out some rage. Put out something that repels people. And that's negative energy. That's bad energy. That's a bad spirit. You know what I'm saying? You have to be aware of these things. You have to be aware of these things. If you're trying to attract the right people to you, even as a professional, some of you guys that are watching this video today, you work in a professional setting. Some of the things that and the people that I've worked with that I've attracted to me has been because of the energy that I'm putting out there, the enthusiasm that I'm putting out there is attracting a certain energy to me, a certain type of people to me. And hey man, I want to work with you. I want to do something. I want and not just the convention talk. Like, oh man, they talking just because they see you, but genuine people. Some people who I really, really wanted to work with approach me like, man, I really want to work with you. I'm like, sweet. I was trying to work with you anyway, but this is even better. So thank you for that. But it's all because of what is put out there, what you represent. Is it something that attracts people to you, or is it something that repels people from you? What energy are you putting out? So I really never do this, but do me a favor. If you have something to write with, write this down. It's a question. What energy am I giving off? What energy am I giving off? Then the follow-up question to this, am I attracting people that I want? Or am I running away the people that I want? All right, I'll give you time to write it. Last thing, how can I fix it? And for all three of these things, we've talked about the answer basically to all of these questions that we just listed down. And if somebody asks me, I don't have it written down right here. If somebody asks me, y'all might have to help them in the comment. You know what I'm saying? Y'all might help them in the comments. All right, so you drop in. So if anybody actually wrote that down, please type it in the chat so that everybody else can get those questions or those notes, just in case somebody else wants to take them and add them to the phone or to their journal, something like that. If somebody want to write it down in their journal, add those questions to the chat for somebody else. Somebody, please. If you have a free hand, you're not driving. So you're dropping jewels, but how do you begin to work on the appearance of energy without looking like a struggle, even if it's not? One of the things you can do from a musical standpoint, several things you can do. Matter of fact, practice in a mirror. Practice in a mirror. If you can, practice in a mirror and be aware of what your face is doing. If you don't have a mirror, you have a phone. Record yourself. Most time we're paying attention. Most time we're paying attention to our hands and what our hands are doing, trying to work on this. But pay attention to what your face is doing and what you're giving off. And look at when you're watching a video. This is just for a critiquing standpoint, not to beat yourself down, but just to critique yourself. When you're looking at it, watch it from the standpoint of an audience member. And if I was a person in the audience, would I enjoy looking at that? You know what I'm saying? Not that you're trying to perform for someone, but you want to be aware of the energy that you're giving off. You want to be aware of, the vibes that you're giving off. Just, and that don't mean you got to be cheesing. I don't want this to be confused with somebody just being fake on stage. That don't mean you got to be cheesing, grinning the whole time. But if you're doing a whole lot of frowning, it ain't like an intense where I'm like really digging in frowning, but that frown like, man, I just messed up. Man, I just messed up. And then your performance is full of, man, I just messed up. All the way across the board. That probably ain't something somebody want to see. We don't come to see you mess up. Or we ain't coming to church or whatever to see your face saying that you messing up. I'm giving my gift to God and I'm mad the whole time. That's like oxymoron. Like, what? You giving it back to God? You sure you want that? I don't know now. So you want to be aware of that. So a good way of doing that, practicing in front of a mirror. But the problem with practicing in front of a mirror, you walk away from the mirror and you forget. That's scripture. But with a camera or your phone, most of you guys hopefully got phones that record video. You can go back and watch that over and over again. Now, it might take some time because it takes a while to get aware of some of the things that you're doing. It takes a while to kind of work them out your system, especially if you've been doing this 20, 30, 40, 50 years. It's going to take it a minute for it to work out of your system. But the more you record yourself, you make yourself more aware of it. Because the problem with getting somebody else to do it, it's good to have somebody to give you honest feedback. But sometimes you give them an inch, they'll go a mile. Sometimes people can take it too far, and you end up becoming a little bit more offended than you do encouraged. Because some people, depending on who the person is, they may not know where to stop. Like, man, I just asked you about my face. I didn't ask you what my playing sound like. I know it. I know I got some stuff to work on, but you just taking it too far. And then the wrong person can set you back instead of move you forward. So just be careful if you're getting people to give you honest feedback. Nothing is wrong with that, but just be careful that you can trust these people and you can trust their feedback, and you know that they have your best interest in mind. Because I hate for you to do this exercise and get discouraged along the way. So just recording yourself, for starters, especially now, most of us are isolated. Recording yourself, for starters, that's something you can do today. Just go and simply record yourself and watch that back. And you be honest with the performance that you just saw. You be honest with what you just saw. And see, like, am I good with that? Am I good with putting this out? If I were to put this video out, am I good with it? Don't just pay attention to how it sounded. Pay attention to the energy that you're giving away with. That you're giving off. That's what I mean. Okay? All right, let's go. Let's go back. I think I missed some comments. All right, Quan says, I'm new to your channel. Thank you so much for putting the time out there to help other fellow bass players and encouraging us to keep going. Absolutely, no problem. All right. I done missed a whole bunch of stuff, ain't it? So Kabbalah says, I've always had a question. Why nobody plays 4 strings in gospel? I have a hard time starting with 4 strings because I can't draw no inspiration from anybody. There are people who play 4-string in gospel, but the majority of the reason why people don't play 4-string in gospel bass is because gospel use a lot of flats, and you have the low B flat shows up a lot in a lot of the gospel music that's composed. And in that music, most of the producers are looking for that low, the notes from that lower octave to really dig in, to really bring out the beefiness of the song. And sometimes, like if you're looking for somebody, let me state this, because I say there's people who play 4 strings. I didn't list anybody. Thaddeus Tribbett, one of the most notable players that still to this day plays 4-string bass and gospel. If you don't know who he is, go listen to any Ty Tribbett music up till Stand Out. So all that stuff, Ty Tribbett Life. It's another record I can't think of the name of, but all of that music, there was a 4-string bass played there. And I know he's not the only one, but Thaddeus is like one of the first ones notable that comes to mind. There's other people that have done it, and sometimes it's subtle in records. You don't necessarily see it on a live recording, but people are playing a 4-string, on different recordings and things like that. So it's not always 5 and 6 strings. There's times that I play gospel records and I've used a 4-string bass. So I know what you mean, but not everybody is playing 5 and 6 string. There are people out there who still play 4-string in gospel. But the biggest thing is gospel, producers and songwriters and stuff like that, when they're composing these songs, they like to hear that lower register. They like to hear those notes from that low B string. In gospel, that B string is king in gospel bass. So just having it available to you, that's one of the pluses with using that 5-string bass in gospel. So hopefully that's a watered down version of the answer. You can get more technical and all that kind of stuff. But from my experience, that low B, people like to hear that low octave in gospel. So let's go back. Okay. All right. I think I'm getting caught up with the questions. Also, awesome. Thanks. I take note. Thanks very much for your help. All right. That was from earlier, something that I said earlier. All right. So Floyd says, yo, you were speaking facts. I've been asked the same, especially now that we wear a mask about your facial expression. Absolutely. All right. Chris says, good morning. Thanks for all you do. Just saw the funeral for Bishop Long. Yes, I'm late, but you held it down. Love the great progression of your skills and talent. Thank you. I appreciate that, man. Yeah, that was, how long ago was that? That was 2017. Yeah, 4 years ago. Yeah, that was 4 years ago. That was an interesting day, to say the least. I had to MD that whole service, but we made it through. So thank you, man. Thank you for that. Nicole, Base Lady, good morning to you. If I hadn't already spoke, you're dropping jewels, but okay, I answered that one already. What energy am I giving off? Thank you, Stephen, for putting that down. These are the questions that I listed out. What energy am I giving off? Am I'm attracting the people that I want? I'm sorry. Am I attracting the people that I want or running away the people that I want? And how can I fix it? Those are the three questions. Stephen, put them down there. Know your sound, put them down. All right. So, out of curiosity, how, Jermaine, is that warrior a neck through bass? And would you own? Hold on. Would you only play? I guess you mean would I only play bow tone? Let me read your question again. I'm reading too fast. Out of curiosity, how, Jermaine, is the warrior a neck through bass? And would you own and play a bow tone? This is a bow tone. Surprise! Yep. I've had both bow tone and neck throughs, and I like them both. I like them both. I'm not super technical. I just if it feels good, I play it. If I like what I'm getting out of it, I play it. I don't. Depending on the situation, it doesn't have to be a bow tone. It doesn't have to be a neck through, that kind of thing. I'm not that guy, but it depends on the bass. It depends on the instrument, how it feels to me, and that kind of thing. So yeah, this is definitely a bow tone. All of my basses so far that I have here are bow tone basses. So yeah, the Serene that I was playing, however, was a neck through. That was a neck through, and I never mind. Yeah, we'll leave it there. Yeah, Reggie Parker, thank you. I forgot to mention Reggie. If you want to go to the old Hezekiah Walker stuff, classic records, Reggie Parker is playing a 4-string and killing the 4-string. So yeah, Reggie Parker is another guy who plays 4-string bass for you guys who are looking for somebody. Thank you for that. I didn't mean to forget about Reggie. Definitely a pioneer. But I did mention that on Gospel Greats. I was talking about Gospel Greats. Gospel bass greats. I didn't list everybody, but I just named 10 gospel players, and Reggie Parker was one of those players who was playing a 4-string. I don't know what kind of bass. It looks like a Fender, but I don't think it's a Fender. Did you answer my question? My phone acting up. I'm not sure if you did already. I'm not sure what your question was, John. What do you tune to? I'm tuned standard. The breaking up, if it's breaking up, I apologize for that. We got that good old. The weather seems fine, so it might just be internet doing what it does. But to go back to that question, what do you tune to? I tune standard. In my older videos, I'm tuned flat. I'm tuned to low B flat, E flat, A flat, D flat, and G flat in my older videos. But I seen how confusing that was for folks. And so I started tuning standard pretty much. I was okay with going back and forth because I was doing it anyway. Going back and forth from standard to standard to flat, standard to flat. But yeah, just a half a step down is what I used to tune to. But if I'm playing a gospel or my own personal music, I like to tune flat. Simply because I like access to those those flat open notes like B flat and E flat. I like having access to those when I write. Don't ask me why, I just do. I guess it's that gospel thing kicking in. After doing it for so long, I kind of grown accustomed to liking it or enjoying it. So yeah, when I'm recording, I recording my solo stuff, I I have a tendency to tone flat. So if you hear some harmonics and stuff in the song, and like, how's that dude getting those harmonics? I'm tuning flat. I'm tuning B flat, right? All right. So I think that's all the comments. And John, I was waiting for your comment again. I'm not sure what you asked me earlier. I think I answered everything. Let me go. Let me go. I'm gonna look back through, see if I can find it before you repost it. Um, yeah, I answered your question in detail. You asked about how to build your viewers. Yeah, I definitely answered your question. So yeah, you got to go back. I can't hit that one again. You got to go back and watch it. I think I answered your question in detail, kind of throughout the video. I answered your question. So yeah, you definitely got that answer there, John. All right, so again, guys, thank you all for watching. I have to make mention of this. There is merchandise. If you want to support this channel, you want to support what I do, there's merchandise available. I have this in several colors. This hoodie, it got the big logo on the back, so you want that, it's available. Got something that's a little bit more subtle as well. Hoodies available that's not zip. T-shirts, and not only that, 10 ways to success. A lot of my thoughts, a lot of things I have. Some of y'all, this is repeated the same information, but for you new people that don't know about it, yes, I do have a book out for musicians and creatives, available on Amazon and Kindle and Audible. There is an audio version of this book as well. You can get the signed copy simply going to my website, JermaineMorgan.net. Go to the shop tab, and you know what I'm saying? You can get this, a signed copy of this just by going to my website. Can't get it on Amazon, not the signed copy. Have to go to my website to get the signed copy of this book. JermaineMorgan.net again. 10 Ways to Success, the Working Musician. This is not a book to teach you how to play. This is a book to help you possibly gain some success, even financial, hopefully, by reading this book. There's some key things that I've learned throughout my journey, and to help you to become more of a success in your journey as a musician. And it might not be the traditional ideas that you thought. It might be some things that you haven't considered, and that was the whole point of this book. I have tons of courses, tons of resources for bass players that are looking to grow on JermaineMorgan.net. If you're not a monthly member, please go check that out today. Same thing, go to JermaineMorgan.net. There's a tab that says courses. Click on that courses and you'll see all of the stuff that I have available, including jam packs for bass players, including monthly or weekly lessons, that kind of thing. I do one-on-one lessons for you guys who need the one-on-one thing. If you don't need that, like, I'm sweet on that. I just need something to help me. I do have just the weekly bass lessons called the monthly membership. You just pay monthly, and you got access to over almost 200 lessons that are available for you to grow from. So yeah, I just want to do some housekeeping before I close this thing out. I really appreciate you guys. That's how I continue to do these and to go live and to create content and to be here and not be at work somewhere, by your support. And if you are a supporter, and some of you guys, I recognize your names, if you are a supporter of anything that I do from the bottom of my heart and the bottom of my family's heart, thank you for supporting me. I don't want to, I'm not prideful. I don't look at it like, yeah, you should be. No, it ain't on that. You don't have to support anything I do. You don't have to buy anything, because a lot of people don't. There's 37,000 people subscribe to this channel, and I know all 37,000 of them haven't supported. But the ones of you who have, thank you so much. Thank you so much. I really appreciate it. It's my pleasure to get on here and serve and to share information with you, but it means a lot to me when you go to the website, when you purchase something, obviously, because that helps me to continue to create. That helps me to do what I do well. Without your help, I couldn't do it. So I say thank you for empowering me to help and to give you guys the things that you need, the resources, the tools, and all that kind of stuff. By the way, there are more jam packs coming. I'm in the midst of creating a brand new jam pack. We calling this one Straight Gospel, and you're gonna really like this one. We're in the process of putting it together. It's already, all the tracks are almost done, and I know it's something. If you enjoyed the contemporary gospel jam pack and the quartet gospel jam pack, you definitely gonna like this one. There's some original music, and there's some stuff that will feel familiar to you if you've played in the gospel scene. If you haven't played in the gospel scene, you're definitely gonna have a lot of fun with this. So anyway, thank you guys for watching. Hopefully you have a great day. Hopefully this helped you. If it did, share it with somebody else. Good morning, Jeremiah. And for anybody else who jumped on late, good morning to you. I'm out. Enjoy the rest of your day. Peace.